Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. All right, if you're in the chat, say hello. Let me know where you're from. Let's talk some markets this morning. We're going to go pre-market here. Wanted to open up a little bit early, about 7 minutes until the market's open, but I wanted to get started this morning and talk about the Dow, talk about the S&P 500, and also talk about the Qs, talk about the NASDAQ, and just kind of see where things are this morning. We are lower on the Dow. You can see we've got ticker DIA. Good morning, Dwayne. How you doing? Yeah, Dwayne, I took a little hiatus. You have to watch yesterday's videos or the day before. I took about a month off and was just kind of getting things back together. I needed to decide where the channel is going to go. I didn't know what direction to take it, so I needed to take a little bit of a break, figure out what my plan was, and now I'm back full steam ahead. And we're going to do kind of a live stream format where we interact every day. I did 2 streams yesterday, one in the morning and one in the evening. So if you're new to the chat this morning, I've been going live multiple times a day. No specific scheduled time, but I like to go, in the pre-market and then after the market closes, just so we can talk, share tickers, talk about ideas and strategy, and answer questions. So we're back. So let's jump in. So Dwayne, what we're doing is looking at the markets this morning. I've got the SPY up, and as you can see, it started to sell off. And the reason why the markets were down this morning early, specifically this, was the fact that coronavirus is rearing its head again. There have been 5 more cases in the US confirmed, so that sent the markets down. But what's been interesting is that we've been slowly grinding higher since about 3:10 Mountain Time. We've been kind of setting higher highs and higher lows and working our way back up. So we'll have to see what's going to happen there. I keep checking the news just to kind of see if there's something else that is lightening things. I'm not sure. They did have someone in Japan who did die from the coronavirus, so that's very sad and very unfortunate. So we'll have to keep tracking the death rates and how it's spreading, but it seems to keep rearing back up and have an effect on the markets. The question is, will the markets view this as something that's going to push things down, or are they viewing it as, oh, it's bad news, things sold off, but then everybody piles back in and pushes the market higher after the open? We'll have to wait and see. Got about 3.5 minutes. Dwayne, are you trading anything specific this morning? What are you looking at? We got the Dow right here, the spiders for the Dow, and we're trading right around 294. We worked our way back up and kind of resolved most of this sell-off. And then if I go to the Qs this morning, let's see what we got over here. Same kind of story, a lot of selling off early this morning and then grinding higher. Actually got a really big spike right in the middle here about 6 a.m. But anyway, looks like we're kind of recovering, so this could be a morning where we get a little momentum back to the upside. This could prove to be a little bit interesting. I'm going to be watching Roku, as I talked about yesterday. I do have a contract here. I sold a naked put on Roku. I have a 115 strike. I'm looking to close this one out, and if we get a good move to the upside, that could happen this morning. Another one that I am watching, as everybody knows, because I keep talking about it obsessively, is Luckin Coffee. Now, Luckin's down this morning in pre-market trading, and this is because of the coronavirus. Any China stock you have on is going to take a hit like this morning, but we'll see what happens moving into the market open. Anybody else got any tickers that they're watching this morning? Anything that they want to throw up on the screen here and talk about? I'm going to look at Carvana. And I'm going to open up, let's open up the daily charts here. You're holding AMD, Square, and Tesla. Okay, Dwayne, I got to ask, where did you enter on Tesla? I'm very curious to know, where did you get in on Tesla? Bring up the daily chart just because we're starting to get close to the open here. And you said you have AMD as well and Square. And these are all long positions, Dwayne. There's Square. Wow, Square's been on a tear lately, and I'm just gonna look at some of the news here just to see real quick. Oh, they got an upgrade. Bank of America Securities lifting the price target on Square to $89 from $75 and maintains it as a buy. So that causes a little push to the upside. But Square's been really nice. And if Square, boy, Dwayne, if Square clears that 82.50 level, that could be, wow, that could be off to the races for a bit. That could be a quick trick. Boy, that's really interesting. You see this level right about there? That could get really interesting for you. I'm going to try and pronounce it. Is it Lu Chang? Lee? Welcome to the chat. AMD. So Dwayne and Lu Chang Lee are both holding AMD. Let's pop over there. Let's watch it into the open together here. Boy, AMD looks good. It's getting, boy, it's really pushed up. The chip makers, they were all really moving. This week's been great for them. And AMD getting the price target raised to 63 from 53 by RBC Capital. We're at 54 and change, so that's going to obviously cause upside movement. Let's see what we get here. Market's going to open pretty soon. And we'll see what happens here. But this is going to be interesting to see what happens on the open. All right, not sure if you guys have a lag or not, but the market is now open. Watching AMD, let's see what we get. Got that little gap down, obviously, because of coronavirus worries. You can see AMD sold off early this morning. Seems like everything sold off until about 3:30 a.m. and then started to grind higher. So this could be a possible sort of dip and climb scenario. I imagine most things are going to push back to the upside, especially Tesla. Curious to see what it does this morning. I want to know where you entered, Dwayne. Jim T, good morning. Oh, long. You got in at 572, Dwayne. That is impressive. Congratulations. What is your plan for exit? Are you going to hold long term? Are you going to hold till it goes to 3,000? Jim T, do you have any tickers you want to look at this morning? We were talking about the sell-off in the markets early this morning, and now we're kind of set up for maybe a little bit of a rally into the open. I'm watching Roku, keeping a close eye on this. I'd like to see a nice push to the upside. That would really help me out on my Roku position here. I'm going to set a little alert here. I want to know if it's going to break above one. Yeah, I'm going to set an alert right here. How many of you are using Thinkorswim? I love the alert feature just because I can set an alert, go away. If I get a ding on Roku, I know that things are looking pretty good. Tesla's adding common stock. I didn't know that. Interesting. Boy, Tesla's just been on fire. Did you sell any shares, Dwayne, up close to 900? I'd be curious to know if you took any off up there, if you're holding long term. That's fantastic. All right, watching Carvana, got the slight gap down this morning. I put a naked put on Carvana. The reason I liked it, especially back here, when I'm picking stocks to sell puts on that I'm slightly bullish on, you know, I like to see the MACD press down, and I like to see that RSI dip down below 30. When those two things sort of coincide, that makes me feel a little better about putting on a put in the options world. Other things I'm watching, of course, is Luckin. If Luckin can get a big push to the upside and recover the losses from this morning, I have a couple contracts in here as well I'd be willing to take off. So let's check this out. Let's see what we've got here. Just watching this one. Also going to keep an eye on the SPY. You can see on Luckin right now, though, I've got this line drawn here up around $40. It pushed up and pulled back and then broke that level. And then when it came back down, it tested it from the underside before it dropped. And then this candle almost tested it before it pulled back. So it's kind of created this little range-bound channel. So if we were to break 40, that'd be super bullish on Luckin. I'd be really excited about that, because I'd like to ultimately establish 40 as a support level as we were to test it and then go higher. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'll probably set an alert. Let's set an alert right. Let's set one right here. And if you've never set an alert before, you just right-click, select an alert, and then you can choose a price, and you can say at or below, at or above, or below or above. I usually go with at or above. Click create, and then you get a little triangle here that shows you that your alert is active. And if you want to take them off, you can just right-click them and say cancel alert. Super handy. Oh, the other interesting thing this morning is AIG. Look what AIG did this morning. AIG had an earnings beat, which is kind of funny, really, and then just popped. And I actually have a few shares of AIG running around, so I'm going to keep a close eye on that this morning. Hey, Jim, so you've been trading Luckin too, mostly puts. That's fantastic. Jim, is this your first time in the chat? I don't remember if you were here yesterday morning. Are you new to the channel, or have you been around a while? Luckin, that's awesome. I think you're the first person who's chatted in to say they've been trading Luckin coffee. I'm right there with you. The premium has been so amazing that I haven't been able to pass it up. So I've got a few different contracts out that I'm waiting to close on Luckin, and just kind of waiting to see where we're going to end up here. Also getting close to closing out this Roku position I've got on. Got that naked put on Roku. I keep kind of flopping back and forth here. Boy, Roku I think might go. This could get pretty exciting. Anybody trading Roku? If Roku has a big day, this could be really awesome, because I could take my put off before earnings. Roku has earnings. I'm just double checking my dates. Roku has earnings today, and it's going to be following the markets today around 4 p.m. So if you want to put on any earnings trades on Roku, volatility is good in there. Price movement is kind of wild. It seems like people are either doing really well with Roku or they're getting really burned with Roku. It's been kind of a wild mover. So let's see what we've got here. Let's see what the SPY is doing. Imagine it's up pretty good. So yep, we're gap down, but we're kind of closing that gap. So we'll see what happens. See if we get a push back to the upside. Watching Luckin and watching Roku. See if we get some good movement. You found the channel last night. Well, welcome, Jim. We're glad to have you. We've been around a little while, a little over a year now, and you might hear or see people talking about where I've been. I've taken about a month off from the channel, kind of defining a new direction for the channel. So if you have any input as to format, we're going with a live stream type format, but things that you'd like to see in the live stream, feel free to let me know. I've been showing people what I'm trading and then taking tickers from you guys. You give me a ticker, we'll take a look at it. You can ask questions about it. I might ask you guys questions about it, and then we get awesome interactions. So yeah, I'm glad you're here. So we'll keep an eye on Luckin. I got that alert set, and the other one is Carvana. Just going to keep watching this one as well. I'm going to set an alert up here on Carvana, and we'll go at or above there. Like to close some stuff out this morning. It'd be really nice to be able to take some stuff off the board. But AIG, this has been, oh, now it's dropping. Maybe it's going to give that back up. Let's see. Let's check out Facebook this morning. So Facebook's been an interesting case because we did get that sell-off after the earnings miss, which was unfortunate. It was a slight miss, but enough to create a little bit of drama. Then they had some news, big push down, and it kind of looks like we're starting to recover that. Would definitely like to get back up to the 220 level. We'll see where we go with that. I don't think volatility has been good in Facebook for selling puts or anything. Let me check it out. Yeah, current IV percentile is about 30%, so it's fairly low. You could do something in there, but I don't think it's super ideal. If we go 43 days out, yeah, it's not horrible, but it's not that bad. But IV is a little low, so that could swell on you a little bit. You could get expansion of IV and then have trouble closing something out for a cheaper price. So I'd hold off on Facebook right now. Another one I like to watch is MDB. This one's been an animal for me. This has just been incredible. If anyone has ever traded MDB, I'd be curious to know your experience. MongoDB has been just absolutely wild, and it's looking like it's wanting to start to think about all-time highs again. It's just been constantly pushing to the upside, and motivated by what? I'm not really sure. It has news on occasion, but it doesn't seem like news other than being upgraded and stuff by Morgan Stanley. Not sure where all this drive is coming from, but it's certainly fun to be part of and fun to watch. I've been selling covered calls on this for about 7 or 8 months now, so this has been a good position for me so far. Just going to go back, keep an eye on Roku. Just need that thing to break out. All right, anybody else got anything? Let's see what Square is doing real quick. Who put that up? Dwayne, let's look at Square. Let's see what we've got here. So Square gap down, but again, it's closing the gap. Like we talked about, that sell-off because of the coronavirus, looking like we might get some pushback to the upside, little momentum this morning. And we're getting that, but it seems to be a little muted. So we'll have to see what ultimately happens. It'd be nice if Square would start to challenge and push back up to those highs. It's got that breakout level there. Square could get really interesting if it breaks out into that channel, because as you can see, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 touches up at this level, and then beyond that, the next thing is sort of that high, almost that $100 mark. So we could have a very interesting play here if we break out. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Just checking in on Etsy, seeing what's going on here. Oh, and let's look at Uber. We talked about Uber. We got that video on Uber if you want to watch that. And we actually on the channel talked about nibbling shares in these 2 dips here, working our way up. And this thing has just been quite a gainer. 41 and a quarter right now on Uber. Earnings came out, things went well. They had a slight beat, so up and away, I guess, on Uber right now. Let's see, Wayfair. Wayfair is dropping down again. Wayfair's had a lot of struggle recently. I think earnings are going to be the catalyst it needs to either move up or move down in a convincing sort of way. Another one I'm watching is Zillow. Carvana and Zillow, in my opinion, are kind of in the same vein. They're both looking to disrupt sort of some upside potential. And Zillow is about to break out into this channel, and if it does, there's not a lot going on until you get to about $55. So they do have earnings coming up, and that's going to be on February 19th, but we've got a little bit of time, so things could get in the channel and go. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Oh, we're breaking out on Roku. This is looking really good. All right, anybody got any questions? Anything going on? Jim, Dwayne, Lou Chang, glad to have you. Got any questions, let me know. It looks like we're going to get a nice Roku breakout here. There it is. All right, so if Roku can stay strong, we're going to be looking good for taking off my naked put here. It's like 270 we might be able to take it off for. This has been looking really good. Yeah, Jim, Roku's going. 141.44, 141.50. Love to see it break this previous high here, 142.45. 142.50 might be a key breakout level to get this thing moving some more. Hopefully it'll just carry momentum. Like to have a nice up day. Yesterday was sort of a Roku resting day, and it'd be nice to get it to push back to the upside in a big healthy manner. Where's everybody from this morning? I'm out in Colorado. Curious to know where you guys are from. Come on, Roku. It's looking a little saggy now. Oh, that's what's okay. So we got some news on the Thinkorswim platform you can look through. It says Needham analysts on Wednesday gave underperform rating to Netflix as they believe the demand for advertising-based video-on-demand service will far outweigh the demand for its subscription-based model. Okay, and then as we move down here, Roku's the winning aggregator. I think that's, people get confused on what Roku is, and I think it makes things a little crazy because I've heard people talk about Roku as if it were a streaming provider, and it's not. It's an agnostic aggregator. It's just bringing in streaming from other services. Roku actually doesn't produce any of their own content, so that puts them in an interesting space because they're just pulling in. You can have Roku and utilize a lot of different services. You don't have to commit to just one. You can use a lot of whatever. So it seems to me to be like kind of a misunderstood product, and the stock seems to get beat up at times for weird reasons, but then when people seem to gain a little understanding of the upside to Roku, then it gets a big push to the upside. So I think that's what's made Roku so erratic, is the misunderstanding of what Roku is. I think people have a hard time understanding exactly what they do. Oh, I missed your comment there, Jim. SPCE, oh, this one. We talked about this one last night. This is that Virgin Galactic. Wow. So why is it going this morning, Jim? Let's see. Oh, because that's right. They called it the Tesla of the space industry. So this could get very interesting. This could be a people priced out on Tesla might run over here and might start seeing a flurry of activity. So yeah, that's really, really interesting. Hey, Dwayne, I have a great resource for you. So I'm going to type it in the chat. tastytrade.com. Dwayne, go to tastytrade.com, and you can sign up for a free account where you just use your email and a password. Once you create an account at tastytrade.com, then click on the Learn tab. Once you get to that Learn tab, just start taking those courses. Everything they do is free. They are all about the trading community. The guys that built Thinkorswim are the guys that started Tasty Trade. So they also built another platform called Tastyworks. I'll put that in the chat. Tastyworks platform, and it's amazing. And I've got that as well. I use that for part of my trading. But go to tastytrade.com, click on the Learn tab, and check them out. They have amazing content, and you can learn everything about options. It's actually, in my opinion, the best way to learn how to trade options. They teach really good mechanics. So go there right now and check that out. Lu Chang, mainland China. Wow. Welcome. I think you're the first person I've seen from China in the chat. That's exciting. Thank you for joining us. SPCE is moving in a big way. So I'm not involved on that, but it was pointed out yesterday in the after hours video that I did, and we talked about that a little bit. I'm gonna pop back over to Roku. Oh, not doing its thing. So we'll keep watching these, but things seem to be a little bit saggy right now. So we'll just keep an eye on things and see where we're going to go. But I'm going to hunt around. I'm going to look for some opportunities. I'm going to see if I can find anything. Looking for volatility, looking for an opportunity to sell some puts, and start wrapping my week up. But if you have any other questions, post them in the chat. If not, well, I'm going to take off, and I might be back later today. We'll have to wait and see. But I really appreciate everyone being in the chat this morning. Hope the trading day goes well. Hope Tesla goes to 900 for you there, Dwayne. I'm super impressed with your entry. I'm curious to know where you're going to exit. If you have any plans on exiting, if you're going to take your profits, that's just incredible. All right, no questions, then we're going to wrap things up, and everybody have a great morning, okay? And we'll talk to you soon.